Hey Dave, is there any update on Muncy and Bellinger?
Both guys feel better. I would say Cody feels probably better than Muntz does. My goal is to have Cody in the lineup tomorrow, and I think with Max, it's kind of treat him up today, see if it continues to get better. The stiffness hopefully starts to dissipate a little bit, and I think that we'll just know more as time goes on. But I think where Cody's at, we're in a pretty good spot.
And with Muncy, is it the oblique, and has he got any testing?
He hasn't got any testing yet, but it's the side, I guess, potentially broader or maybe more micro oblique. But I think we got it early. So he's done it before in the past, and it's not as significant as before.
And what you see with Scott Alexander here on the mound?
I don't know as far as just from my eyes. It was good. Throwing the ball to the plate. The movement was good. I think it was 15 to 20 pitches. So I would assume we'll do the same thing here in a few days for him. Probably be either here or Arizona. But today was a good day for Scott.
With Andy Burns, I'm sure that was a pretty fun call to make. But where does he kind of fit into all of this?
He's just a guy that I think just the versatility is a value. The right-handed bat. So having him at second base, knowing he can play anywhere in the outfield, play him at third. So we'll see. We'll see. I think that this next series, I think that we'll have a left. I don't know if we'll have a left-hander against Philadelphia, but today I wanted to get him in there. And worst case, you have him, if he doesn't start, you have a guy off the bench who can hit a lefty.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep. Next question's from Fabiana Adaya. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, with Muncy, since he's also coming back from the ankle, is there any conversation about just giving him a 10-day IL stint, just deal with both of those?
There's a thought. The ankle, I think, certainly is playable. But with this, we just felt that if we give it a couple days and then we can reassess there if we have to make that retro move.
And then, I'd imagine it's going to be mostly Beatty against righties at first and then Pujols against lefties at first, if you need Muncy out for a couple days.
That's a possibility, and there might be an opportunity to put Cody at first too. So we'll see, but having just kind of seeing where Max is at, but we do have some versatility certainly. And
then with Cody, I'm sure part of him at first would be also making sure the hamstring is handled. That's something that you want to be extra cautious with, even if he's in the lineup tomorrow, just going forward.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, he's a big part of obviously what we're trying to do. So he feels good. The training staff feels good as far as where he's at today. But certainly if we can take some mileage off at first base, it's probably only helpful.
Would he be available to pinch hit tonight?
I'll see as he starts moving around and get cranking, and I'll know more once he gets moving around.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Next question's from JB Hornstra. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, can you peel back the curtain any on your conversations with Andy Burns, a guy who's got 6 ABs in the major leagues to come back now? Did you call him? Have you spoken to him yet?
So talk to him. I know he's excited. He's a pro, played professionally overseas. He's the right age as far as experience. So I don't think the moment will be too big. I know he's excited, him and his family, and really familiar with our guys, the coaching staff, with the spring training too.
As far as the reports that you've gotten about his hitting, obviously he's gotten a lot of hits at AAA lately. What have you heard?
He's performed, and he's done everything that we've asked that he can do. So to sign a guy, a free agent sign, and to challenge him to perform, and he'll get an opportunity to follow through with that. Feels good as an organization, and also credit goes to him for performing. So he's performed as well as anybody in AAA, and I'm just happy that he got that opportunity.
Last one for me. What had you seen from Dennis Santana this season?
I just think that with Dennis, it's just strike throwing. It's not about the stuff. There's a 2-seamer, there's a 4-seamer. Trying to figure out the slower slider, the hard slider, the change up to right and left. And I think with Dennis, there's a lot of value as far as potential roles and stuff, but just the consistent strike throwing is something that, we need to continue to see.
Thank you.
Next question is from Dave Assay. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, since you guys came back from the road trip, have you seen any significant steps that Seager has made in his return, or are there any on the horizon?
I think each day so far, it's been a net gain, net positive. Today, if you saw him taking grounders, the way he's moving, throwing the ball, he didn't throw the ball across the diamond today, but everything looks like he's made tremendous progress. The conditioning with the medical staff has been fantastic. And now the 2 swings with the tennis ball, he's taking some swings with some flips with the baseball. So the next step is an overhand batting practice. So hopefully early next week, we'll get that. We'll get him on the field. And then the next progression at some point soon will be facing a live pitcher. So I think we're still, 4 or 5 days from that. But like I said, every day has been a positive.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next question is from Rowan Kavner. Go ahead, Rowan.
Hey Dave, when you look at Kenley's success this year, what stood out to you the most? Is it, the philo, the command, the shape he's in? I mean, what's kind of stood out to you?
I think all of it. I think at first glance, it's the body. His body looks really good and strong and fit. It's firing. It's a lot more twitchy. I think that outside of that, maybe that Oakland outing, there's consistent strike throwing, and there's a lot more velocity, albeit at times inconsistent as far as the 95s. There's been some 97s this year, but there's also been the 90, 92. So I guess it's hard. I guess the good thing is it's hard to game plan against the fluctuation in velocity, but I think across the board, and then lastly, it's just there's a lot of real confidence.
Are you noticing any kind of themes when he does have, 96, 97? Can you kind of tell when that's going to come at all?
We can't. I can't personally. I don't even know if he can, but I do know he's been very effective, which is most important.
Thanks.
Last questions from Eric Steven. Go ahead.
Dave, just wondering what was before last night, was Muncy's ankle at a point where you would have been fine playing him at second?
He was actually going to play second today. So I think that if it was a day removed or day prior, I would have felt comfortable, yes.
And then with Tsutsugo, he was out hitting against Alexander today. I know he was on the IL just, 3 days ago, but he last played like last Saturday. Did you guys retro his IL, or is this going to be a situation where he's going to miss a little bit more than the 10 days?
I think he's going to miss a little bit more than the 10 days. I think the plan is for Yoshi to go out and meet that OKC team tomorrow, and we expect him to be in the lineup on Monday.
And then one more thing, I guess logistically, given the news last night with Muncy and Bellinger, did you guys have to bring other people up from Oklahoma City, or like just as a contingency, or how does that kind of work? Yeah.
So Luke Raley is en route, and he'll be here later this afternoon, early evening.
Thanks.